evening. Welcome back to Inside Asia. Tonight, the program will continue the conversation with the latest Magsaysay Award winner, Koul Panha, the hard campaigner who really promote free and fair elections and widen the democratic space in Cambodia. I hope you enjoy the program.
It gives ANFRL immense pleasure to congratulate our Vice Chairperson, Mr. Koul Panha, on being named as a recipient of the prestigious Ramon Magsaysay Award. Mr. Panha, who is also the Executive Director of the Committee for Free and Fair Elections, or COMFREL, in Cambodia, will receive the award on August 31st, 2011 in Manila, the Philippines. We state with great satisfaction that Mr. Panha's association with ANFRL since 1997 has contributed tremendously towards the promotion of free and fair elections, not only in Cambodia, but throughout Asia. With his selfless dedication and hard work, he has rightfully earned the prestigious Magsaysay Award. He has been a source of strength and inspiration to his colleagues at COMFREL, ANFRL, and beyond. On behalf of everyone at ANFRL, we take this opportunity to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Mr. Panha for his courageous work at COMFREL in Cambodia and wish him more successes and a long life in the future.
In Cambodia, how many NGO altogether? And just give me some idea which group are handling issue related to social or political areas?
We have around 2,000 NGO, non-governmental organization and association established at the national, at the provincial level.
I see.
And however, the effective performance is around 20%, less than 20% of.
So about 200 organizations that really work.
They really try to 200 to 400 around like that. They
very active.
They keep.
On which issues can you?
Mostly they deal with human rights.
Land eviction.
Eviction. Deal with the governance issue also. There are some NGO try to do with that, with the women's rights, with the children's rights, and with
migration.
Migration
labor.
Maybe a few, but also microcredit. They also try to do something with that. So, from the human rights sector to the development sector and social sector, especially some organization they provide service. Some organization they involve with the capacity building for the local people, and some organization they involve with the microcredit to the poor, and some organization engage with the human rights and democracy. So yes, but mostly they are engaged with the development work.
I see. So in your assessment, do you think Cambodian NGO have done their job in monitoring, serving as a check and balance, try to follow up and articulate issues that's important to national development?
I think the NGO they have make a lot of effort and to fill the gap that the government cannot fulfill or the business cannot help the people. So the NGO, civil society have a lot to, especially to the vulnerable people, marginalized people, and the poor people. So they just try to help to make them aware about human rights, about their civil political rights, and try to also provide some service to them to assist them to get from the poverty, and also some legal advice. So yeah, there's NGO play big role to target the marginalized and the vulnerable people, because the government and the business, they are more target at the macro level, but they lack the gap in this micro level, especially the marginalized and vulnerable group of people.
So is that how explain why in recent months they have been many reports about the government's attempts to come out with registrations on civil society organizations, particularly local NGOs, try to seek control and restrict their work. Can you give me some of your assessment?
I think that's why we really try to have dialogue with the government. We intend to explain that our role try to fill gap that the government cannot fulfill some project that can benefit to the people. NGO can play that role. And since during 1980, during at the time embargo,
economic sanction,
and the NGO at the time was play some role, especially international NGO try play some role to help the poor and
yes.
also try to advocate to ban embargo. So I think now the current government should aware that the important role of civil society. They really want to make sure that the current existing of civil society can keep grow and ongoing, not to create new law that really threat to reduce the number of civil society and also can restrict some activity of civil society that will lose benefit of marginalized people and the poor people. I hope we keep talk and dialogue with the government and we concerned if the government try to push the current draft law and without any...
Do you think it will come out soon in its present
currently
form?
They are really in draft number 3 already, and this draft number 3 they're still not some provisions really give a lot of power to the government.
For instance, can you give me some example?
They can suspend the NGO.
Yes.
They can suspend the NGO activity when they found there's something wrong. That we are concerned. And the registration also a lot of requirement. And we concerned that is this very complicated requirement, very
would discourage NGOs
discourage
from
some small NGO in the province. Some NGO they don't have kind of capacity to reach that requirement. So when they start to get the new registration, they will very face difficult, and then their organization will not able to carry out activity because they're not able to register. Because in the law they say that if you not register, you are illegal to conduct the activity. So we see that this freedom of association is something that is not necessarily put the compulsory for the registration. That if the organization register to get legal entity, they can benefit from the law. But if the organization not able to register, they still carry out activity, but they not maybe get benefit from the law. So law should something promote, protect the civil society NGO rather than try to restrict or control the NGO. I think that really affect the freedom of association. I would suggest that it should be withdraw the compulsory, the mandate for the registration of NGO. So allow the small civil society at the village, at the commune, at the district able to establish by themselves, and they carry out activity,
at their own initiative.
Their own initiative, their neighborhood, their own association. Because this is the way that people live. Because this, from neighbor, from community.
And engage local participation.
Yeah.
Do you think the government will heed this advice?
In the first draft and second draft, they allow for the consultation. But now in the third draft, we are concerned that we hope that if they still allow, the government still allow consultation, this is very helpful. But however, we are still concerned that the government really want to push to adoption of this law. And however, we keep
pressing. What is the time frame before this law comes out? Next month or 2 months?
They have not put that line yet,
I see.
But we can see the attitude and commitment of government. They really want to push to have that law as soon as possible.
What were the main reason, do you think, the government has taken up this kind of very tough stand against NGO?
My personal view, I think the government maybe not get full information assessment what the important role of NGO. So maybe they see that NGO something threat to the political power. But NGO is not play that role. NGO mostly try to be the catalyst to fulfill the gap that the government cannot fulfill. And
help the government, in other words.
Yeah, because some study they found that many NGO have the government, not really have.
So you have to spend more time explaining to the ruling parties that you are helping them, not try to undermine them, no?
Yeah, we have some service that try to educate people to understand their rights, to defend their rights, to protect their rights. But it's just necessary that the government already have been ratified the Human Rights Convention, International Human Rights Convention. They must respect that convention. They must respect the constitution that guarantee the human rights and
you mentioned a very good point. Actually, Cambodia is far ahead of all ASEAN members in signing the Bill of Rights or the instrument. Cambodia was very advanced.
Yes.
Actually, more advanced than all ASEAN countries when it comes to international bills of rights.
Yes, if the government try
but the implementation, right?
The implementation, so the NGO can help how to improve the implementation of this human rights have been ratified by the the government. That can be improve the credibility of the government.
Correct.
In the image of international community, because Cambodia still needs support from the international community.
So you have to spend more time explaining to the ruling parties that you are helping them, not try to undermine them, no?
Yeah, we have some service that try to educate people to understand their rights, to defend their rights, to protect their rights. But it's just necessary that the government already have been ratified the Human Rights Convention, International Human Rights Convention. They must respect that convention. They must respect the constitution that guarantee the human rights and
you mentioned a very good point. Actually, Cambodia is far ahead of all ASEAN members in signing the Bill of Rights or the instrument. Cambodia was very advanced.
Yes.
Actually, more advanced than all ASEAN countries when it comes to international bills of rights.
Yes, if the government try
but the implementation, right?
The implementation, so the NGO can help how to improve the implementation of this human rights have been ratified by the the government. That can be improve the credibility of the government.
Correct.
In the image of international community, because Cambodia still needs support from the international community.
So the government should know that NGO play a very positive role in complement the government effort in nation building.
Yeah.
And Cambodia, as I said earlier, has made many international commitments and the most advanced among all ASEAN countries. Now let me, since we're talking about ASEAN countries, as you know, Cambodia will be the chair of ASEAN. So what do you think Cambodia should do to increase its profile within ASEAN?
I think Cambodia can make some difference, can produce something good initiative for the ASEAN, and even the Cambodian is a younger member of the ASEAN. I think the current government can do something, especially related to the political community.
Political community,
Yeah.
in what way? Can you be more specific?
I think try to push more in terms of how can make a mechanism effectively of human rights and a blueprint for democracy in ASEAN, because this really contribute to the political community for ASEAN. Because if you see in Europe, they also start from the political community also. They also not start, but they are put the condition, this the freedom, the human rights as a key entry to the European member. So ASEAN can make effort to strengthening this political community and especially the democracy, maybe try to have like blueprint, ASEAN blueprint for democracy, and this really give a lot of the hope that the strong ASEAN, the future strong ASEAN, and the Cambodian government can play that role. How can
That's a
see
very
different?
good point.
Because now the mainstream only the economic.
Yeah, very good point. As you mentioned, Cambodia was the youngest member to join ASEAN in 1999.
Yep.
And Cambodia actually is the most democratic amongst the new member that have been admitted since 1995.
Yep.
And Cambodia can play that role in broadening up, in opening up and strengthen the democratic institute in ASEAN.
Yep.
Now, do you think, for example, that as chair of ASEAN, there will be a so-called People's Assembly, just like what happened in Thailand years before and in Indonesia, which has held this kind of very efficient people forum. Do you think Cambodia will go for that idea also next year?
I think the Cambodian will use the model of this kind of space for the civil society in work parallel with the ASEAN Forum. I think the Cambodian government will try to open and to do something with that like model in Thailand or in Indonesia or in some democratic country in ASEAN. I think they will follow because Cambodian is something it's different among the new member. I think because the global trend now is really toward the
openness.
Open democracy, civil society participation. So Cambodian can show that their role and can
make a positive contribution
to the space of civil society, engage and contribute to strengthening the ASEAN.
Okay, one more thing actually, besides as the most actually democratic among the new member, Cambodia also has a freer press of all the new members that are being admitted after 1995.
Yep.
I mean, especially the print media is free, and actually it's freer than in Thailand. Some of the media is pretty critical of the government, and sometimes they even very critical of the monarchy. Why?
I think that the positive point of Cambodian in terms of democracy and human rights, because the print media is more free, but however the ruling party and the government, they more control on the broadcasting media, especially the TV, they control all. And I think maybe they see that the print media maybe is not so much attract the people to read, to follow information, because maybe the Cambodian people, they don't have behavior to
they don't like to read
traditional practice to read the newspaper.
So they like to watch TV and listen to radio.
Maybe the money also, the poor, they cannot afford to buy the newspaper to read. That also another reason that the print media not so much popular among the Cambodian people.
But do you see any possibilities that there will be a much more independent broadcaster in the future?
I think now there are some improvement of the radio.
Radio program.
They increase the number of the independent radio, and also some radio station open that allow the opposition also access to broadcast their opinion of their information. So some independent radio also open to the civil society and independent group that they can send their voice and information through that. Increase in the radios open, but not so many, but they keep increase. But the TV is still tough control.
Tough control. Now, my last questions to you. Since we're talking about free and fair elections, we talk about the young democracy in Cambodia, we talk about the role of civil society and check and balance, the role of media. You putting together, there's a question here. Do you think democracy in Cambodia is irreversible or not?
I think I still hope Cambodian democracy still keep going to get better, but sometimes recess, sometimes get better. So like fluctuation, like wave, go down and up, going down and up. But they are go to the better and better. Is because now Cambodian people are aware the importance of the democracy and the human rights. Because they think that democracy can hold the government accountable to them. In the past, when Cambodians have no democracy, the government always abuse them and abuse the power and even kill people. So this time people have power through democracy. So the Cambodian people still keep push and to promote democracy. This is my see the trend that is a positive. Even
so it's irreversible. It's irreversible.
Irreversible, not.
So
yeah.
Democratic developments in Cambodia will keep on progressing, strengthening
yeah. Yep.
with better system in the future. That's
yes,
what
yes.
you.
But sometimes maybe get recess. For example, this time we are concerned about limit democratic space, about the freedom of expression. Sometimes because the government not tolerate the freedom of opinion that critical to the government, they use the court to sue the critical people in the court. So it's something that happen now, and we concerned if the government and who in power still keep use the court to sue the people who have some critical or have a critic on the government. But however, we experience that sometimes the situation recess like that, especially the freedom of expression. And the future, we are also concerned about the freedom of association, as we talked before about the NGO law.
I see.
But I hope the government will consider our proposal and recommendation how can contribute to improve this freedom and democracy, and can grow, get better again. I hope the Cambodian government will be flexible toward that suggestion from the civil society to promote democracy.
All in all, you have confidence in the young democracy of Cambodia?
I still confident. I still hope that they will get better, because we try to educate people, and the current the politicians, they start aware that because only the democracy that guarantee Cambodian stability and peace. Otherwise, we will come back to the violence.
Like in the past.
In the past. So only the democracy that can
guarantee peace and stability.
Because all the political players can participate, engage. But we have to promote, we have to strengthen the fairness, integrity in election, also very important. That create, fair playing field for all the party can participate, engage in election. That can be better and guarantee the stability and peace and long term.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Koul Panha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
We come to the end of my dialogue with Koul Panha on the democratic development in Cambodia. We will be back again Saturday and Sunday. Good night. สวัสดีครับ